I have a little idea for an odd little page in my junk journal planner. So let's do this together, shall we? It's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. This has been for a while now my favorite journal to play in as well as plan in. So if you want to know more about how I made this planner and what's going on in the planner, please see my Plan With Me playlist below this video. And my mom is holding the page that we are working on. I created this page with this grungy frame in last week's Junk Journal Snacks episode. You can find this linked in the description box below as well, in case you want to see how I made this. But today I want to work on this little flap here. And as you can see here, I have this beautiful collage, which is from my friend and design team member Peggy from the paper Bumblebee. She sent this envelope to me in the mail that she sent for the 5-item swap, which you might have seen a few weeks ago. If not, I will link that for you below as well. That was a very, very interesting swap using non-craft items. And I so love this envelope, so I had to attach it to my planner. And as you can see here, I used 3 fabric strips and just attached it here around the page. So that flips out now. And I thought it would be really nice if this collage wouldn't be completely seen at first glance, but it would be partially covered. But then I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to have the image of the lady be continued here? So that's what I want to do. I made a photo, which is a lot more cold in the colors than this one, because this is on matte photo paper. And I guess I would have needed to adjust the coloring of the photo, but I think it'll be fine. So it's the same scale, I hope, as this collage. So I'm going to cut out this image here so I can add it here. And I might even want to use some of the other parts of the collage, so I want to be careful how I cut her out. I just love this pop of red. Red is a color I don't work with a lot, but I think this looks fabulous. And this inspires me to use more red in my own art. This is of course one of the Tim Holtz paper dolls. So what I'm doing here is of course copyright protected. So I could not actually sell this journal with what I'm doing here right now, but it's just for my personal use, so I think it should be fine. Now let me test if this is the same size. Yeah, pretty much. A few millimeters off, but yeah, I think it will do for my purpose. So I need to glue her. Ooh, actually, now I cut her feet off. No, I was just thinking, originally I just wanted this part here, but it would also have been fun to have the whole figure double, but I cut her feet off. And we're a bit off with the measurements, so yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I will glue her down onto this, or maybe first I should think about what else I want to put on the background. I'll tear some of these pieces, this one here with the red, and maybe the one here with the dream, and maybe here with the splatters. And then maybe I can add those over here. First, I want to warm all these pieces up a bit, because look, in comparison, they're just very, very cold. So I'll take my vintage photo and a makeup brush and go over them. I wish I had like some old paper ink, but I don't. That would have been a little bit lighter, but I think it would have warmed it up. This of course makes it a lot more grungy as well. I'm not sure this is actually warming the color up. I think I need to stick this down with some washi tape, because I can't work on it this way. Okay, so she will go here. The red can go here. Maybe we'll tear that a little more. Yeah, I might not do the dream. This one is very nice. Maybe we'll turn it around. And I also like this one. I like having the letters here, from here. Then Peggy also has some cheesecloth here and some black thread. And I have some cheesecloth here. We could add some underneath here and also some black thread. Now I'm not sure about the red anymore because I'm thinking the red should maybe just be around her because that's where the focus needs to be, on her. So maybe this is not ideal here. Maybe this should be an extension of this here. Yes, I like that better. So I'll take this off for now. I'll add some protection paper underneath. And I will add a little bit of coffee here for some more interest. That looks quite funky, doesn't it? I'll remove it here from the spine. I don't want to weaken my spine. And I'll dry this with my heat gun. So now we have some interest here on the background. And then I'm going to add these here. So first I'll add these with my Liquitex matte gel, my preferred medium for adhering pieces for collages. It's super easy to apply. It never dries out here, even though I'm not adding any like wax paper or anything on the top. And I don't have to worry about the matte gel turning glossy or anything after it's applied. And it's so soft and easy to apply. I just really, really love this stuff. But of course, you could use glue stick. I do want to be careful going over the coffee because as you can see here, of course, the coffee is water soluble. And another tip when you're working with a heat tool like this, please be careful and think about what your surrounding is made out of, because I almost just melted this because this is made out of synthetic material. It shrank here just a little bit. So be careful. It's so typical for me to have accidents like that. So then I can glue down this. And for this, I'll just use my art glitter glue because the metal tip is so handy. And finally, I'll add some glue on this lady. I'm wondering if I should cut her off here. I'll cut her off here first, and then we can still make the decision to cut the rest off. I mean, it sort of works. It's not exactly right because here you see there's a discrepancy here, but does it really matter? I am so torn. No, I'm going to go with my original idea and cut off this half. It seems so brutal. Oh no, and it says bad. Should I not do this? Is this an omen? No, let's be brave. Let's see. Oh, her face looks weird, doesn't it? Her face looks so weird. It actually looks kind of creepy, doesn't it? I want to do something here as well. And I recently got this stencil. This has the number THS143. I will link this below. I want this big flower here to come out like that. And I'm going to use this Distress Crackle Paint Translucent, which I also got new and I'm super excited to try. There was a sale at Simon Says Stamps and I splurged and got a few things. So I've never tried this before. This is very, very creamy, very interesting, soft consistency. Wow. Let's see how well I can apply this. I'm not used to working with such thin pastes. Usually the texture pastes that I have used are a lot thicker. This is very interesting. And can I get another one maybe here? I think I first need to clean this. The difficulty is, of course, to not ruin this one And to get it in the crease in here. Ooh, this is really challenging. And not to ruin your stencil along the way. I'm not sure we'll be able to see that this one is a flower. This might look really weird. And of course, I'm not sure how smart it is. It's not smart at all, actually, to put something right here in the crease that will affect turning the page. This is not my best idea. I could just wipe it off again, right? Yeah, I think I need to get rid of some of this in here. That's not going to be good for folding the page. I will leave it at that, and I will try to dry this with my heat gun. Alternatively, you could of course make your own texture paste just by using gesso or even just white acrylic paint and sand, and then you just mix the two until you get the consistency that you like, which is what I've done here. I think this has dried in the meantime, but I've had this for months, but it does keep for a while. This took a lot of drying time now, so I know now for the future, not the best medium to use in a video if you can't wait a few hours. I don't really see if it has crackled. I feel like it hasn't really crackled. I also cannot see the flower shapes at all. And I have some bubbling because of course I went too close with my heat tool. So I think this is a disaster. Let's see what it looks like once we put some Distress crayon in walnut stain over it. Maybe this will reveal the petals. I've never done this, never worked with this before. I've seen it on videos. I cannot imagine this is working. I should have maybe experimented with this before doing this on camera, but then again, maybe it's interesting for you to see what works and what doesn't. Clearly, this doesn't. I have the feeling I'm pretty much doing everything wrong that you can do wrong. I still don't see the crackles or the petals. I'll add some here just to see if maybe it works on this one. I don't know why it should, but I think the problem is that I have all these bubbles here. See, all these dark spots must be where it bubbled up, because usually I don't think these parts would come up like that. And then of course I won't get anything into the cracks if there are any. I probably ruined it by using the heat tool. Yeah, okay, so that's a huge fail. If you have this crackle paste, you're probably shaking your head. Okay, so what do we do now? We have a medium here now, which is shiny, which obviously serves as a resist. So maybe I can get all of the crayon off. No, I don't think that's happening. And I wonder if I spray now and then wipe it off the crackling paste, if we will see the petal shapes. I'll first add some water because I don't want the spray to be too dark. And then I'll add some frayed burlap. That is very dark. Maybe add some more water. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Okay, this has to dry. And now I'm going to take a damp cloth and rub the spray off of the crackle paste. Aha, that's actually working. Maybe not all is lost. So here we still can't tell it's a flower, but this one is actually not bad at all. I really want the flower petals here. So I'm going to put this stencil on here again. I can't even see how I had it before. I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to do this well. I'll try it anyway. So I'm just going to use my gesso, hoping that will provide a nice contrast. This is super tricky. This is also going to take forever to dry because I have to add so much gesso because it's so raised. Oh my goodness, I think this is not a good idea. I have the feeling this whole page is turning into a disaster. Oh my goodness, no. Look at that. No, no, no. Let's not do that. Let me take this mess off.
Wow.
How bad can this get? And I realize I have completely messed up the photo. It's okay, I've already printed another one. What an utter mess. So first let me show you, I've printed her again. I've warmed up the tones a little bit. Let's take this off. And I cut her out as a whole. And I think I'm just going to put her here with the whole image, because I do love weird shapes of pages. So this would be a fun weird shape. But what do we do with this background? So first I want to get rid of all this white here. So I'm going to spray this again. I'll start with water, add my frayed burlap, add some more water. So at least that we have a background which looks similarly horrible. Then I'm going to add some splatters. So I'll press this very lightly so that I get, oops, not like that, so that I get some bigger drops. Let's put a kitchen towel over it. And we see that we don't see much. So usually this should give me a nice oxide effect, but I can hardly see it. It's still a complete and utter mess. Okay, I just had an idea. Since this is such a dark and grungy background, we need to use that to our advantage. So if we put the lady here, what if we just take some white die cuts and get some great contrast? So I cut these two, which are from this Thinlit set 664164. It's this branch right here. I will link these for you as well below. And we could have these, maybe one like this, and maybe we put the other one like that. And then we're using this space to our advantage, and maybe I can find a sentiment or something to stamp to go here. And then it will look like we wanted a nice grungy background. I'll cut these off. Actually, I'll cut all of this off here because I don't need to bother gluing all of that down. Actually, I'm going to try to take all of this off, which is making it so bulky. Hopefully, I'm not going to tear the whole card apart now. Ooh, this is very nerve-wracking. Got this off. Yeah, this is going to be much easier now to work with. Let's just see if I just tore too much now. Which of course I did. Okay, no problem. I'm going to spray this one more time. I'm still not happy with this. I'm going to try something different again. I mean, I love the contrast here, but I want to see what would it look like if we made these red. So let's find out. I have this Candied Apple Distress Stain, which I think is very close to what I have here. Obviously, you can take watercolor or acrylic paint to color your dies, but you know that. Wow, I love it. I was not sure about this at all, but now it kind of looks like these plants are coming out of this thing here. Ooh, this is amazing. I'm so happy I did that. I did not think I was going to like this. Pays off to try things. I just see now that I have some tips here that are still white, so I will color those as well. I still want something else here in the background. I'm going to try my crackle stamp by Crafty Individuals from the UK. The number is CI116, and I will also link this for you below. And I'm going to emboss this, so I'm using my embossing dabber. You can also just use your embossing stamp pad, of course. And I'm going to use white embossing powder. So this is what we have after it's heat embossed. It looks very funky. I actually see now some of the petals here, a little bit at least. So what does it look like once we add our lady? It's just a really weird background, isn't it? I'm going to go with this now, and I'll add something here, and then I think this is going to be okay. It kind of looks like a Halloween collage, doesn't it? The first thing I need to do if I'm going to use her as a whole is to do something on the back side. So I'll simply spray her with some water and some frayed burlap. And once she's dry, I'm again going to try the droplets effect. See if it works there. This is of course a different paper. This is matte photo paper. Oops. No, I'm trying it again. I'm not giving up. Not really happening. I don't know why. Usually I can get this to work. We'll go with it. I've already glued these leaves on with my art glitter glue and the small metal tip. And now we need to glue on our lady. Finally, I'm going to add a sentiment, which is very fitting. Never give up. And this is from 7 Dot Studio, the word stickers fortune teller. I don't know if these are still available. If you need the number, it's SDST0041. I've had these for such a long time, but I keep coming back to them because I really like these sentiments. I'll ink up the edges with walnut stain. Does it need something underneath? Oh, it needs to go right here. Nothing underneath. This was supposed to be a quick little video, but there you go. So now we can lift this up. I like it. I think it looks really cool. Very happy with the final result. Or maybe I should show you here the back side again. So this is what we have now, and I think I need to do something with this another time. Hopefully this encourages you to keep going even after you think it's all ruined. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!